Elaris was once a paradise of shared knowledge and boundless prosperity, until the Scions of Ascendancy unleashed the Obsidian Doctrine, turning it into a world of servitude, silence, and shadow. Welcome to Stories by Hawk. That is me, where I provide you with short stories that are easily digestible in a short amount of time. Tonight's story is titled The Age of Chains. Elaris had once been a beacon of harmony in the galaxy, a radiant world of shimmering forests, flowing silver rivers, and cities that touched the sky. Knowledge was open to all, resources were shared, and no being ruled over another. The wisdom of the ancients had guided them to this perfect balance, where technology was a tool of liberation, never dominion. But among them, there were those who whispered of a greater order, a way to shape existence itself to serve the few. They called themselves the Scions of Ascendancy, and they claimed the old ways were weak. In secret, they devised a system unlike any seen before, a vast and insidious network of control known as the Obsidian Doctrine. It was not just a form of rule, it was a force, a living algorithm bound to arcane sciences, rewriting the fabric of Elarian life itself. With it, they seized the flow of energy, the movement of knowledge, the very essence of existence. And the world fell swiftly. Great sky fortresses loomed above, each a stronghold of an ascendant lord. The shared wealth of Elaris was dissolved into a new currency, the ciphered tribute, which could be only possessed by those within the ruling echelon. Entire cities were reduced to circuits of labor, their inhabitants bound to the will of the doctrine. Information became sacred, its access reserved only for the ascendants and their chosen heirs. For cycles upon cycles, the rulers watched from their spires, believing their dominion was eternal. But the flame of Elaris could not be extinguished so easily. In the shadowed depths of the forgotten undercities, those who had once been free began to rise. They called themselves the Ilarian Dawn, keepers of the old wisdom, architects of rebellion. They unearthed forbidden technologies, broke the seals of the doctrine's control, and taught one another the lost arts of creation, of disruption, of war. Then, in a single strike, they shattered the sky. The spires of the ascendants crumbled, their cryptic codes unraveled. The cipher tribute was erased from existence, and the chains that had bound Elaris for so long dissolved into nothing. The ascendants themselves, those who had once ruled as living gods, were captured, their power ripped away. There were no trials, no ceremonies of justice. There was only exile. One by one, the fallen lords were cast into the void, abandoned on the distant, lifeless moon of Vexus 9, where no voices would reach them and no machines would heed their commands. Elaris, wounded but unbroken, began anew. The scars of the Obsidian Doctrine would never be forgotten, but neither would the lesson it had taught them. No order that seeks dominion can stand forever. The cycle had turned. The world was free once more. Epilogue: The Silent Moon. The cold winds of Vexus 9 howled through desolate canyons of black stone, their echoes the only voices left to answer the exiled. The former ascendant lords, once draped in robes woven with the codes of control, now shivered in tattered remnants of their past glory. Their minds, once sharpened by the limitless knowledge of the Obsidian Doctrine, had dulled in the void of silence. There were no circuits to command, no great spires to oversee, no serfs to enforce their will. Only the eternal gray sky above and the endless frozen expanse beneath. In their isolation, they whispered to one another, at first with grand promises of return, then with bitter blame, then finally with nothing at all. The Ilarian Dawn never spoke of them again. As generations passed, the scars of their rule faded, but the memory of their fall remained. Their names, once feared, were lost to time. Their legacy, once vast, was erased like dust in the solar winds. On Vexus 9, the last of them stood alone, staring at the night sky toward Elaris, glowing bright and free, until even the will to watch was lost. Well, I want to thank you for joining me on another short story today. You can find out more about me, about my stories, my artwork at my website, tfhcalifornia.com. Have a great day.